All right, now that it's time to make some captions, not closed captions, but we're just calling these captions. This is what we want to put in our video. So for each picture, you've got a little bit of text. Notice these are not really long. So let's make a place for those to be. Remember, you can click right here to get to the different panels. We've got the project right here. We're going to the captions and the caption template so that we can copy and paste these. Okay, so if you don't have this, you can actually open up the downloaded project that said first name, last name, and copy these from there. In fact, I'm going to take both of those and copy them and go over here to master. Now the problem if you just try to paste them is they will go on the video 2 track by default. One of the things we could do is simply go after the rest of the video and paste them in there. So I'm going to take my first one here. Remember, this is the one with white text and a black shadow. This one is black text on a black background. You can still read it because the glow around it is actually not a shadow, but a glow that is white. So I'm just going to take this one and I'm going to put it over here and zoom in so I can really see the details. What you want is for the picture to already have dissolved in before we have the caption show up. And you can have it last as long as that. So it needs to then be gone by the time the transition starts. Doesn't look good for it to still be saying what the previous picture was. So we can also press Shift D. Whatever's selected, it will apply the default transition there. Now there's plenty of other transitions, but at least have it fade in and out. So in order to change this text, you can double click on it and change the text. So I'm going to paste the text from my document. So I'm going to right click and copy so you can see that. Control C works much better if you're doing it with your left hand only. Going back to Premiere and paste the text in there. If it's too long, too short, you can make changes to it here under the effect controls. So if you're somewhere else and you've got that caption selected, you can go to effect controls and you can see the font size. So if I needed to fit a little more on there, I should be able to, may have to Control A, and now that's going to change the font size. And we are going to notice, oh, this is the place, but here's the picture. Well, pretty easy. Just move it over there. And now we've got that. So notice here that it's going to go over the word Honduras. So we're actually able to move this as well. Let me just use my pointer tool. And I can put this up in one of the corners up here. Don't go right to the edge. There's some safe zones that you should put that right there. So you can see how the picture comes up, the text comes on, it's on there, and then fades away. It does not need to be there the whole time, just long enough to read. So if you want to make it shorter, it fades up and then fades off, and then we can concentrate on the picture again. So if you wanted to, if you're like, yep, I'm going to use that the whole time, you could then copy and paste that and put them all in place and then go back and change them. So let me go up here and I'm going to place my black text with the white glow around it. And let's see if I can copy and paste that several times. And now I've got several of them and I can just put them in their places. It does help, as I said, if you are zoomed in, it is actually jumping to several different points there. So it is best to go in and make sure that this is being lined up the way you want it. And you can even put the dissolve on all of them at once. If it got cut off, that's no big deal. This is one of those items which you can make longer or shorter as needed. Just it depends on how long you want the text to be on there. So there are plenty of other adjustments, but I have done these already. Be very careful with changing the shadow or changing the fill, because it has to be black and white in order to really be legible. It also means you have to make sure that your font is not some crazy hard to read font. So if you do this, it's going to be much harder to read and need some adjustment. So just be very careful as you're choosing your different fonts. Extra bold there works pretty good. you're not going to use some of those crazy ones. So if we do something that's really, really thin, maybe we need to look for a bold. The fake bold is already on there. So that should be enough to get you started. Cross dissolve is only one of the ways to make those captions come on the screen, but there you go.